Welcome to Singapore. Amid the crossroads of Asia lies a city unlike any other, a place where nature blooms beside glass towers and ancient traditions dance with the future. From floating gardens and sky-high forests to neon harbors and timeless streets, Singapore isn't just a destination, it's an experience in motion. Today, we uncover 15 wonders that define this island of innovation and beauty. From the clouds of Marina Bay to the rainforests of Sentosa, and from Chinatown's lantern-lit alleys to the futuristic glow of gardens by the bay, join me as we explore the extraordinary world of Singapore. Marina Bay Sands rises from the waterfront like a vision from science fiction, three towers supporting what appears to be a ship suspended in mid-air. But this isn't just architectural showmanship. The rooftop infinity pool, perched 57 stories above the city, creates the illusion of swimming off the edge of the world, with Singapore's futuristic skyline spreading endlessly below. Standing there, with water seeming to merge with sky and city, you understand how Singapore sees itself bold, impossible, and utterly confident in its audacity. Gardens by the Bay transforms 18 trees into metallic giants that breathe and glow with life. These supertrees, some reaching 16 stories high, are vertical gardens wrapped in steel and covered with over 200 species of plants. At night, they come alive in a symphony of light and sound, their canopies glowing in choreographed colors while music drifts through the garden. But the magic doesn't stop there. Step inside the cloud forest. Where Singapore has recreated an entire mountain ecosystem under climate-controlled glass, complete with the world's tallest indoor waterfall cascading from misty heights. At the water's edge, a mythical creature guards the city with eternal vigilance. The Merlion half-lion, half-fish exists nowhere in nature, yet it has become the soul of Singapore's identity. This curious hybrid, spouting water into Marina Bay, represents the city's origins as a fishing village and its transformation into the Lion City. Standing before it, as the sun sets behind the towers of the financial district, watching water cascade from its mouth while boats glide past and the city lights begin their nightly dance, you witness Singapore's past and present coexisting in perfect harmony. The city reveals different faces from different heights. The Singapore Flyer lifts you gently skyward in air-conditioned comfort. Each capsule, a private observatory rising 165 meters above the island. From this height, Singapore's careful design becomes visible, the green corridors connecting parks, the way waterways thread through the urban fabric, how old shophouses nestle beside glass towers. It's a 30-minute revolution that shows you not just a city, but a master plan decade in the making, where every element serves both function and beauty. Architecture here doesn't just serve purpose, it makes statements. The Esplanade, affectionately called the durian for its spiky appearance, sits on the waterfront like a giant fruit that decided to become a theater. This performing arts center, with its distinctive aluminium sunshades creating that iconic spiked exterior, represents Singapore's commitment to culture alongside commerce. Inside, world-class performances unfold, while outside, the building itself performs daily, its surfaces reflecting light, its shape creating a landmark so distinctive it needs no introduction. But Singapore's greatest performance might be its dedication to green space in one of the world's most densely populated places. The Singapore Botanic Gardens sprawls across 82 hectares in the heart of the city, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that has been cultivating beauty since 1859. Walking through its pathways feels like stepping into another century. Ancient rain trees create cathedral-like canopies, while the National Orchid Garden displays over 1,000 species in a riot of color and fragrance. Here, morning Tai Chi sessions happen beneath heritage trees, and families picnic on lawns that have been manicured for over 160 years. Just offshore, another vision of impossible transformed into reality. Sentosa Island was once a British military fortress, then became the pleasure island of Southeast Asia. Universal Studios Singapore brings Hollywood to tropical shores, while the SEA Aquarium opens windows into the ocean's deepest mysteries. But perhaps most impressive is how Singapore created beaches where none naturally existed, imported sand, sculpted coastlines, and swaying palms, creating a Caribbean illusion just minutes from downtown skyscrapers. Standing on Palawan Beach, toes in white sand, looking back toward the city's glittering skyline across calm water, you experience Singapore's gift for transformation. The city's commitment to wildlife creates encounters that shouldn't exist in such urban density. Singapore Zoo pioneered the concept of open enclosures, where animals live in habitats so natural you forget you're in a zoo at all. But the real magic happens after dark, when the night safari awakens. This nocturnal zoo lets you experience the jungle after sunset, when Singapore's tropical creatures are most active. Riding silently through darkened trails, watching leopards prowl and flying squirrels glide overhead, you're reminded that this city-state was once all rainforest, and some of that wildness still thrives, carefully protected within urban boundaries. Birds own their own kingdom at the Mandai Wildlife Reserve, where Jurong Bird Park creates a world where aviaries disappear and birds fly free around you. Hundreds of species from across the globe have found sanctuary here. Flamingos wade in shallow lagoons. Macaws explode in technicolor flights overhead, and penguins somehow thrive in the tropics behind climate-controlled glass. It's an ornithologist's dream and a photographer's paradise, where every turn reveals another winged wonder. Along the East Coast, Singapore shows a different pace. East Coast Park stretches for miles along the shoreline, where locals cycle, rollerblade, and gather at seafood restaurants perched over the water. This is where Singapore comes to breathe, to watch container ships queue like patient giants waiting to enter port, to fly kites in tropical breezes, and to remember that despite all the futuristic towers and manicured gardens, this is still an island still shaped by sea winds and tidal rhythms. The city's cultural heart beats in distinct rhythms across different neighborhoods. In Chinatown, the scent of incense drifts from ornate temples, while hawker stalls sell delicacies that haven't changed in generations. The Buddha Tooth Relic Temple rises in traditional Tang Dynasty style, its red walls and golden roofs a stark contrast to the modern towers surrounding it. Here, you can watch craftsmen practice ancient arts in shophouses that have stood since Singapore's founding, while street markets spill colorful wares onto sidewalks where 5 generations have haggled before you. In Kampong Glam, the Golden Dome of Sultan Mosque anchors what was once the Malay Royal District. Here, traditional shophouses have transformed into boutiques and cafes without losing their heritage charm. Walking these narrow streets, you discover Singapore's Islamic and Malay heritage preserved and celebrated, where the call to prayer echoes between walls covered in street art, where traditional textiles share space with modern fashion, where the past doesn't compete with the present, but dances with it. Along the Singapore River, where modern Singapore was born, Clark Quay pulses with contemporary energy. What were once cargo warehouses, now house restaurants and bars, their colorful facades reflected in water that once carried the island's fortunes. River taxis glide beneath bridges, carrying passengers between past and present, while outdoor dining terraces overflow with life. This is where colonial history meets modern nightlife, where you can trace Singapore's evolution from trading post to global city simply by walking along water that has witnessed it all. And then there's a place that defies all categorization. Haw Par Villa exists like a fever dream made permanent over 1,000 statues and dioramas depicting Chinese mythology, folklore, and moral lessons in the most vivid and sometimes disturbing ways imaginable. Built by the creators of Tiger Balm in 1937, this surreal theme park takes you through the 10 courts of hell, shows ancient legends in three-dimensional color, and presents Confucian values through grotesque and beautiful art. It's bizarre, it's mesmerizing, and it's completely unique, much like Singapore itself. In the heart of Singapore's downtown stands Suntec City, a marvel of modern feng shui design. Its 5 towering buildings are said to form a giant hand reaching toward the sky, centered around the iconic Fountain of Wealth, one of the largest fountains in the world. At night, water, light, and music unite in a hypnotic dance, turning this urban heart into a symbol of prosperity and balance. This is Singapore, a city that shouldn't work but does, brilliantly, where 63 tiny islands decided to become a giant, where multiple cultures blend without blending away, where nature and skyscrapers share the same address. From infinity pools touching the sky to hawker centers serving history on plates, from Supertrees that glow to real trees older than nations, from beaches made from dreams to traditions preserved in amber. Singapore proves that small spaces can hold infinite wonder when imagination and determination meet. This garden city, this impossible island, this miracle at the tip of a peninsula, it reminds us that the future doesn't have to abandon beauty, and progress doesn't require forgetting where you came from.